So here are the three big stories for today. It is Friday, December 1st. So the OSCE, that is the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, that meeting just took place recently. Now, there was a big hubbub because some countries decided not to come, others were there, and should they have been there, or if some delegates walked out? Okay, here's Arthur Ray talking about what happened and why. He hits the nail on the head.
Moscow decided to let Russia take part in it. And after Estonia found out that Russia is allowed to take part, we boycotted, we didn't take part. Latvia, Lithuania did the same. Poland and Romania, and of course Ukraine. So these are the countries who decided to boycott and stay true to fighting Russia. What is the similarities between these countries who decided not to take part? Well, next to Russia, Soviet occupation, extensive deportations in the 40s. We all remember the Stalin deportations. We have no illusions about Russia. So if Russia takes part in anything, the Baltics, Poland and Ukraine will boycott.
So the more experience that you have with Russia, the more likely you are to boycott these kinds of meetings. And then, of course, Lavrov, keeping it classy, calls Joseph Borrell and Anthony Blinken cowards for not wanting to negotiate. It's kind of like when you're dealing with a crazy relative who's on drugs or alcohol or something, and you're like, you can't really be here. Like, you get yourself cleaned up, then we can talk. You can't really be here affecting the whole family system while you're doing this. But that's not how he sees it. He's acting this way and saying, well, they just don't want to negotiate. No, you've got to do this. Stop doing the destructive stuff first. Here's another story. Russia fails to get elected to the UN Ship Agency's Governing Council. So Russia's still trying to use all diplomatic means in order to get themselves to politically maneuver toward their advantage. So they're still trying to use these mechanisms. Another story, Russia's defense minister announces Ukraine's losses in 6 months. So over the last 6 months, they say that of the counteroffensive, the enemy has lost over 125,000 people. Now, I believe it's you to decide whether that's true or not. But for comparison's sake, this is what the Russians say about Ukraine. Here is today, this is December 1st, 330,040 losses for Russia. And here is 6 months ago, 208,340. And that brings you a total of 121,670. Is it probable that the Russians have lost fewer battlefield casualties than what Ukraine has lost? I'll leave that to you. So the last thing that I want to leave you with is this. I just put out this video a few hours ago. Here, Russia denied the invasion. This is the Russian media mocks the West for claiming that it would invade before it invaded. This was just weeks or a month or so before they actually invaded. You've got to hear this. All right. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the subscribes. And thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.